It's 3 in the morning, and you're awake. Again, you didn't set an alarm. Nothing woke you. No noise, no dream, no reason. Your eyes just opened in the dark, and now you're lying there, staring at a ceiling you can't even see, listening to the sound of your own heartbeat. And the first thing you do, the very first thing, is reach for your phone. The screen lights up your face. 3:14, and your stomach drops, because you know exactly what that number means. It means less than 4 hours until the alarm. It means tomorrow, you'll be running on empty again, in a meeting that could have been an email, pretending to be a functional human being, while your brain quietly dissolves behind your eyes. So you tell yourself, sleep, sleep now. You have to sleep. And of course, the second you order yourself to sleep, you are more awake than you have been all day. And your mind, which was perfectly silent 5 minutes ago, suddenly wants to replay every embarrassing thing you have done since roughly the age of 6. So you scroll, just for a second, just to make your brain tired. And somewhere in the back of your skull, quiet but certain, the thought is already forming, the same one that finds you every single time this happens. Something is wrong with me. Normal people sleep through the night. Why can't I? But here's the strange part. That question, the one you ask yourself in the dark, at 3 in the morning, is brand new. The waking up isn't. The waking up is older than farming, older than writing, older than every clock you have ever owned. You have been taught to hear it as an alarm going off inside a broken machine. It was never that. So let me tell you what is actually happening to you. For 300,000 years, for over 99% of the time our species has existed on this planet, waking up in the middle of the night was not a malfunction. It was not insomnia. It was not a symptom of stress or screens or anything you did wrong. It was the design. That moment you dread at 3 a.m. The one you have been taught to fear, the one you medicate and Google and lie awake panicking over. Your ancestors had a name for it. They expected it. They built their nights around it. And in the next few minutes, I am going to show you exactly what that moment was for, why your body still does it tonight, and why the only broken thing in this entire situation is the world you keep waking up into. After this, you will never panic at 3 in the morning the same way again. But first, I need to take some things away from you, because right now, when you wake in the dark, you have a glowing rectangle to check the time. Take it away. You have a mattress. Take it away. You have a heater humming somewhere, a locked door, a roof, 4 walls whispering to your nervous system. You are safe. Nothing can reach you here. Take all of it away. Now you are lying on the cold ground, and the fire you built hours ago has burned down to a low orange glow, and above you, there are more stars than you have ever seen in your life, because you have never once, not for a single night, seen a truly dark sky. And the dark out here is not the dark of your bedroom. It is total. It is the kind of dark where the only thing standing between you and everything that hunts at night is a thin curtain of flame and your own senses. And somewhere out past the edge of the firelight, something is moving. You can't see it, but it can smell you. And this is the world that built you. This is the world your sleep was designed for, not the memory foam, blackout curtain, climate-controlled box you sleep in now. That box is about 200 years old. You are 300,000 years old. And in a world like that one, sleeping straight through 8 unconscious hours, deaf, blind, and defenseless from dusk until dawn, was not restful. It was suicidal. So let's kill a myth right now, because it is quietly poisoning your sleep, and it isn't even true. The idea that a healthy human sleeps 8 solid, uninterrupted hours in a single block, that a good night's sleep means going down at 11 and not surfacing until 7, is not ancient wisdom. It is not biology. It is an industrial invention, roughly as old as the factory clock and the electric light bulb. And we have all been very quietly convinced that it is the natural human default. The person who proved this wasn't a sleep scientist. He was a historian. His name is Roger E. Kirch at Virginia Tech, And he spent years, buried in the kind of documents nobody thinks to read. Diaries, court testimonies, medical books, prayer manuals, old novels. And across centuries, across countries, across languages, he kept finding the same strange little detail hiding in plain sight. People kept referring, casually, with no explanation, to their first sleep, and then to their second sleep, as if everyone simply knew what those were. By the time he was finished, he had gathered more than 500 references to it, more than 500 separate fragments of proof that for most of human history, people did not sleep the way you have been told you're supposed to. Here is how they actually did it. They would go down not long after dark, because what else are you going to do? And they would sleep hard for about 4 hours. That was the first sleep. And then, in the dead center of the night, they would wake up, on purpose, naturally, and they would stay awake for an hour, maybe 2. And this waking window was not a problem. It was not something to be fixed. It was ordinary life. People used it. They stirred the fire. They got up and checked on the animals. They prayed. There were prayers written specifically for this hour of the night. They talked quietly with whoever they shared the dark with. They made love. They lay there and let their minds drift in a loose, dreamy, half-lit way. And then, when they were ready, they sank back down into the second sleep until the light came and the day began. 2 sleeps, a door left open in the middle of the night. For thousands of years, that is simply what night was. And I know what you're thinking. That's history. Maybe people used to do that as a habit, a custom, but our bodies have moved on. Our bodies don't work like that anymore, except they do. And we know they do, because someone tested it. In the early 1990s, a psychiatrist named Thomas Ware at the National Institute of Mental Health ran an experiment that is quietly one of the eeriest things I have ever read about the human body. He took ordinary modern people who slept in one solid block, like you, like everyone, and he did one simple thing. He put them in darkness. 14 hours of darkness every single night, the way a human being would have lived through a long winter night before we set fire to the sky with electricity. No screens, no lamps, just the dark. And then he watched what their bodies did once the pressure of the modern world was lifted off of them. And within a few weeks, their sleep broke in half, all on its own. Nobody instructed them. Nobody told them the history. Their bodies simply remembered. They began sleeping in 2 chunks, with a long, calm stretch of wakefulness, sitting right there in the middle of the night. Exactly, precisely, the pattern Ekirch had dug out of those centuries-old diaries. The ancient design had been inside them the entire time, folded up and waiting. And the moment the modern world loosened its grip, it unfolded. And here is the part that should give you chills. During that middle-of-the-night waking window, Ware's subjects were not anxious. They were not staring at the ceiling in quiet horror the way you do. Their blood was flooded with prolactin, a hormone your body releases in states of deep calm, the same one that moves through you right after an orgasm, the one that fills a nursing mother. They described the state as peaceful, meditative, a kind of restful, floating awareness. So the exact same clock time that fills you with dread, that oh no, it's 3 a.m., or why am I awake? What is wrong with me? Was, for a body allowed to run on its original settings, one of the most serene states a human being can enter. So let's put it together, and let's say it plainly, because your body has been trying to tell you this for years. When you snap awake at 3 in the morning, nothing is malfunctioning. That is not insomnia. That is a 300,000-year-old alarm, firing exactly on schedule, right on time, doing precisely what it was built to do, opening a door in the middle of the night, the way it has for 10,000 generations of your ancestors before you. The waking is ancient. The waking is correct. The only thing that is new, the only thing that actually changed, is the panic. Because the light bulb came, and the factory came, and the alarm clock came. And the world decided that time was money, and sleep was wasted money. And it took that ancient, gentle, wide-open middle of the night, and it slammed the door shut, And it told you that if the door ever creaks back open, you are sick. It took the oldest, most human moment of your entire night, and it gave it a diagnosis. It called it insomnia. And then, naturally, it sold you something for it. So here is what I actually want you to take from this. The next time you wake at 3 in the morning, and you will, I want you to understand what is really happening in that room. Your sleep is not failing you. Your sleep is remembering. For a few minutes, in the dark, the modern world loosens its grip, and a much older creature rises to the surface. The same creature that slept beside a fire, under a sky full of real stars, that woke in the deep of the night, not in fear, but in a kind of ancient calm, that lay awake for an hour, listening to the dark, and then, unhurried, slipped back down into sleep. That creature is not a glitch in you. That creature is you. The distance between you and them is almost nothing at all. Same body, same brain, same night. You are not broken. You never were. You are a perfectly functioning ancient animal, waking up at exactly the moment you were built to wake up, inside a world that forgot the design ever existed. The panic isn't yours. The 3 a.m. is. So tonight, when your eyes open in the dark, don't reach for the phone. Don't check the time. Don't beg yourself to fall back asleep. Just lie there for a moment, in the quiet, in the oldest room your body knows, and let the second sleep come, the way it always has. You're not sick. You're not weak. You're just awake, in the middle of the night. Like every human who has ever lived, you're still human.